hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change.
If you like our content, we'd appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, and get notifications. Help us extend our reach by sharing our video content. And if you want to help us beat the algorithm, also leave us a comment on some of our videos.
On the show.
Oh shit, it worked. Fuck me running.
Nice.
Woo!
What's up, Fam of Liberty? I'm admin Tim.
Damn, that was
joining
tasty.
me is thank you. Joining me is admin Jen and admin Matt making his first appearance just to prove that it's not a sausage fest in the Sons of Liberty admin chat. And also joining us today, Doug from Political Drain and Laura from Political Drain. What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? Good and decent
doing?
people of YouTube, all the admins of the Sons of Liberty,
Good
the
evening,
Patriots.
everybody.
Nice to
Happy
be here with you guys.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Joining us.
I'm
On the show.
I can't wait to get this thing started, man.
Yeah.
I've been loving the stuff you've been putting out
Thanks
lately.
very much. All of my
All right.
chat people are big fans.
All your chat people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
see,
got a
So,
channel or
family
two.
members of this despair of
Nice.
language.
there's like 5 channels involved.
Yep.
Okay.
We're a network.
So, anything interesting happened in the news lately?
Oh man, it was a slow week.
Slow week. Slow news week. Can't
Oh
think of
man.
anything.
Anything at all? Maybe something on TV or something.
Huh.
Uh,
Come to think of it.
Something historic. Something wrong.
My phone has been blowing up, but I'm just like sending it back to because I don't know.
I've seen a lot
I've
more
got mine
cat
perpetually
memes
on
lately for
silent.
some reason. So
Yeah, cat memes.
weird, right? Definitely weird this week.
The cat memes.
Man, some of those AI ones of Trump saving kittens and puppies and ducks and being chased by half-naked Asians. And they were serious. They were trying to.
It couldn't be
Mm.
stranger that the president who hates animals more is the
Right,
one who's
right.
chosen to be the savior of all the house pets in America.
Sure. He was trying to win back over all those cat ladies he lost.
Yeah, good luck.
And all the dog owners that know him lost for them.
For
And
sure.
RFK too, with his bizarre lineup of animal parts.
To be fair, he said that was all the brainworm's doing. He had nothing to do with that. That's when the brainworm's in charge. It gets 12 hours. It gets 12 hours. That's how they split it.
Must have been hungry because it certainly wasn't anything up there for their nourishment.
It's a lot of real estate space, but this is the market for it. So Worm's going to make out well. The Worm is going to be
It makes me think of that Men in Black with the guy who's driving the human body.
Yeah.
Doug, you're from Jamaica originally, is that right?
Yes, I am. Born in Jamaica, grew up until about 9th grade in Chicago, and then Atlanta after that. So you can say I'm well traveled. But yeah, Jamaican all the way through.
So not quite Haitian, but kind of the same region.
So what I was going to say is it's also very poignant that everybody else is posting the pictures of cats where Trump is saving the cats and the animals and loving because they're projecting what they want him to be. And the one that he posted was the one where the cats are holding AR-15s.
Yes.
Right. It's so poignant, like to see what they project onto him what they really want. And he tells them every day, no, I'm not that. And they love it. Anyway, yeah. So I was the outsider from Jamaica growing up, and you really find out what not I don't know what to call it, not having world news or not being in tune with anybody or any other country but America does to people. Even me was the Jamaican booty scratcher, or like the banana boat, or all of it. I got all of it. Everything is strange if it's not from America. And those savage memes, those ideas of dark people from other places are scary, are to be wary of. It goes back way back, and I've had to deal with that a long time.
Out of curiosity, when you heard this Haitian bullshit, whether it was prior to the debate or during the debate itself or in the aftermath of it, what was going through your mind personally?
Well, the first thing is disbelief. It always is. Like, even though I'm telling you the story and I know the history and you think you'd be ready for it, but they always find a way to one up themselves. So disbelief was it, but the laughter was next. But always in the back of your mind is, you know, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. After the first disbelief, then you laugh at it like, look at these memes, what's going on? And you go, oh, well, they're talking about black people from another country. Well, at least they didn't call them S-holes, or right. Like, you already know that that idea makes this type of person comfortable, knowing that these other dark people out here in other parts of the world, they're all a little bit savage and a little bit scary. For some reason, whenever they hear that, they're comforted by that. It really makes them feel like, okay, I know my place in the world. I know this is how it should be, right? And I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but yeah, I can't believe that I didn't call it. After a while, you go, I can't believe I didn't call that. Of course, they were going to start saying that about Haitians. But yeah, so disbelief, then hilarity, and then it's about right.
It's almost kind of a riff on the classic Southern strategy of you could get the Southern white man to vote for you because you got him to believe the narrative that at least he was better than the Southern black man.
Right.
Yeah.
And it kind of becomes the international version of that. It's that, okay, we can't sell maybe the domestic version of this, but we'll sell the idea that the people of color from other countries are somehow inferior, less advanced, less human. It always comes back to goes back to Trump's whole philosophy that the people coming here from other countries are poisoning the blood of America, that they're like not even human, and start to really worry about that because the dehumanizing bit always comes before the violence in history, no matter where you look back to.
Right.
Every time.
Can I jump in with the? I looked into like the origins of the story too, and in Canton, Ohio, it was this guy. He calls himself Nate Higgers.
Right.
And he's
they're
a Nazi.
They're creative like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
he went.
He's one of the smart ones.
He went into. He got taken out of a town meeting where he was claiming that these things were happening that Haitians were doing all these violent things in Ohio, and then there was an actual story of a woman having mental issues who did kill a cat and ate part of it.
Right, but not in Springfield,
and somehow
Ohio.
this all got blown up and got onto the internet, and everybody.
And she's from America, though.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Made it into exactly what you said, a twisted version.
So,
it fits their narrative.
Sorry.
So here's the thing, like.
Yeah.
It's there every single day. You've got to find something to keep people scared and not looking around, right? And I'm sure we're going to get to it in the debate, but afterwards, the amount of people doing backflips to find a way or a reason to say that they didn't see what they saw. All they had to do was take an evening, go home, and there's about 5 different stations that they can watch that can consistently feed them with just enough things to forget, or just enough things to keep them angry or scared or whatever. When it was the Asians, because it was the what was that? The Kung flu, the China flu, right? China flu.
The China virus.
Wasn't there something recently about the Vietnamese too eating ducks?
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was all mixed in.
I mean, I've ordered Peking duck from
I'd
Chinese
say I've ordered
restaurant,
duck
and
too.
I've gone duck hunting and eaten them myself. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what they're trying to get at there.
the
That's like a
whole
weird
I don't
talking
either.
point.
is the whole thing is it doesn't
Weird.
it only all you have to do is say that other people are doing it. These other
Right.
people, you're already scared
Right.
of them, right? So
Yeah.
so you really, 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 really love guns until you see the Black Panthers with one,
Mm.
or
Right.
you know, I love driving fast until you see this person doing it, or I love walking in the woods
Mm.
unless they're doing it. Then you say, did you know that 5 of them were walking in the woods? Right? And because you already are primed to see these people as less than human, you already primed to know them as violent and savage, that they come from S-hole countries, and this is a constant feed. This is something that I don't know if, I would have guessed that probably from childhood. You see it on TV. Every time you see a native person, they got a bone in their nose. You don't know that Africa has tall buildings as well and drive cars. Like, you don't know that Haiti is a country that is like every other country. So you're already primed to believe just about anything that anybody says. And so when they say, do you know that they use staplers? It's like, you're talking about Haitians? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard about the stapler thing. you know what I'm saying? Because you're already you're ready for that. You're ready for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So it's
Matt,
like,
you were just
go ahead.
I was just recently in East Africa, in Kenya and Tanzania, and you fly into Nairobi, and pardon me, you fly into Nairobi, and other than the fact that there's a lot more protections there for vehicle-based explosions and whatnot, because they've had some troubles there. That's a city of 8.6 million people with skyscrapers and the whole lot, and honestly, driving down the street, other than the fact they drive on the other side of the road and the road markings are different, you could be in any major city in the U.S.
Right.
Period.
It's not, as certain news stations portray it on TV. It's wild to be there and see that. Oh, well, look, everything that Fox was telling me is bullshit.
So
Well,
I
that
have
thing is fear mongering is the cheapest form of preaching, right? I mean,
Right. Exactly.
if you're looking to convert somebody, all you got to do is get them scared and angry. You
Yep.
know, I
And
mean,
they do it every time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't had a migrant caravan making its way up Mexico, getting closer every day, and then they'll show footage of brown people that half the time it's not even from immigrants coming to this country. It's just whatever chaotic, violent thing they can find, and they'll show that and they're like, oh yeah, this is the caravan. This is definitely it. It's like when in the lead up to the 2020 election, Trump wanted to show violent protests, and this is what Biden will do to America, even though it was happening in Trump's America at the time. But they didn't even use footage of the ongoing civil unrest. They took footage out of riots that happened in like Eastern Europe to use, because it was much more violent and the crowd had weapons and batons and things, so they could portray it as, oh, look how violent these people are protesting.
That's extra frustrating to me, though, because I feel like it is so easy to debunk. I mean, it's like it takes 2 seconds
but it
to
all
debunk all the things that they showed, and nobody bothers.
It comes back
Google
to
is a tool for the liberals.
They're the same people that will tell you to do your own research when it on their conspiratorial theories, when at the same time they can't do a quick Google search to debunk their own shit.
So
right.
Here's the problem with the debunking. It's so easy to debunk if you cared. Right? You actually have to make an active effort to type in something in Google, go through a few searches, or type in the right thing and say, okay, well, let me see what they say. Or you have to care. When you already were waiting for that, like you've been waiting with bated breath, waiting for that next hit, that next dopamine hit of they're addicted to that fear. And here's another thing about fear, right? Why you don't hear about migrant caravans is because you have to keep upping it. It's not scary anymore. When you watch, Devil Dog at 15, all of a sudden you need Friday the 13th. Well, after you watch Friday the 13th, you're going to need Saw. Well, after Saw, you might just need, I don't know, whatever crazy. I stopped watching after that. But you need more gore. You need more fear. Like it stops being scary. So they have to, they're on a full, constant 365-day, 24-hour loop of upping it. Then they go back to the old stuff when they're trying to figure out what else to do next, just to keep the drip going, right? Just to keep that drip going, to keep that dopamine level there. So, asking someone to do is so easily debunked. It's like, yeah, but they wanted that. They really, really want that. I was telling somebody else who was leaving ridiculous comments. I was like, bro, you don't care. No, but the migrants are doing this and that. And I said, so what? You don't care. You just want something else to be mad at. You don't care if they're doing that or not. You don't care about anything, honestly. Whatever Trump says next will be the biggest problem in your life. And then when you forget about it, you will find something else. Right. And so even when you do debunk something, the next favorite word is, well, what about? Well, what about the rats? Well, what about the cats and the dogs? Well, it turns out that they're not eating them. Well, I don't believe that. That's a lie. Well, now we believe it, and Trump said something else. Well, what about the transvestites in jail? Like, I mean, there's no point in even asking them to debunk something. And I say that sounds, defeatist. I'm wrong, but once you realize that it's exactly what they're looking for, you don't have to ask yourself like, oh, why don't? It's so easy to find out. It's like, yeah, but you have to actively try.
I don't think it's defeatist to just not engage.
It's like the Enigma code. What was that Enigma code breaker?
Da Vinci Code.
You can spin so many, this plus that equals scare,
Oh yeah.
Well, even if when you do engage and their cognitive dissonance is so strong, there was an incident with there was a robbery or something here. This is going back a few months, and I'm arguing with someone about it. And he had like a couple of clips on TikTok that didn't show the whole thing. And I sent him the link to the video from SEPTA, the transit authority here, that had put out the video on a site that was the video that clearly showed that the TikTok edit was bullshit and everything. He's like, well, you can't believe that. It's not real. It's like, the fuck else do you want? This is what happened. This is exactly what happened, and you're still so up your own ass to see it fit your little worldview that you're going to dismiss actual evidence. We're in 1984. The cult is so strong. They want to see it the way they want to see it.
I was just talking about that 1984.
No burst of reality reaches in.
So the most telling thing ever is when Marjorie Taylor Greene said Democrats are eating the children, they're drinking the blood. It's called adrenochrome, whatever it is. And I'm not saying we don't know who Q is, and we don't know if it's true, but I hope it is. At that moment, she didn't even catch herself. Like you realize that it's not about the kids. If kids had to die for Trump to be in power, you would be okay with that. You hoped that it was so that you could get that off, so that you could keep that hate, so you could have a reason for your hate and your racism and your stupidity, and you're not having to think. It's all done for you. And when she said that, it was just telling, like, oh, so you don't know if it's true or not, but you hope it is, so that you can own the libs,
right?
I hope they're killing kids because then I could own them.
Mhm.
Great job.
Speaking of that, I did appreciate finally one of the moderators just very simply put him in his place when he said, they're killing the babies after they're born. No, they're not. She
Right.
fact checked him on that. Finally, God.
Yeah, they did good with the fact checking, or okay with it, at least better than most.
You know, it's sad that we have to bother with fact checking in one of these debates, but also the other sad part is the fact that we had to demand that the media do it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Why are people so scared of Trump? I don't understand that fear, but I'm sure we'll get to it. But my God, man, like it seems like no matter what, they let him talk when it was against the rules. She tried to butt in one time, and they cut her down immediately. They will constantly explain away his weird tweets and be like, well, what he meant was, well, no, just post it. Just report it. It's okay. Right?
They
Like
call that sane washing.
Yeah, the sane washing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fear of Trump is real, and I'm not sure what it is because he's the weakest, most ridiculous clown on earth. And for some reason, I guess they ratings. I don't know. You guys got to tell me that one.
I feel like it's because Trump has kind of. I don't think anybody expected him to win, even himself. And when he did, all of a sudden, these fringe lunatics were like, I can advance my agenda by attaching myself to this guy, or even people who just believed the garbage that he was saying. And I mean, it's been almost 9 years at this point. So, and then I guess 8 since he got elected or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those people who were politicians at that point in time, when he became president, they suddenly had a significant platform to get themselves embedded. Like Jim Jordan, of all fucking people, is sitting on a House committee, and Margarine Trader Greed is sitting on a House committee, and all of these disreputable people, and they're the dominant figures. It's like they've somehow gotten themselves latched on like a lamprey, and they're not going to let go. So you have to vote them out of office.
But you know, it's just like their followers. It's like whoever screams the loudest and most frequently. That's who everybody's paying attention to.
And also, speaking of followers, there's genuine fear for regular rank and file bureaucrats, broadcasters, journalists who catch the ire of Trump and his cult. And just a few tweets, I mean, their house is getting doxxed. There's people with guns showing up to their place. There's death threats arriving constantly. You look at all the people whose lives have been ruined by Trump basically telling his followers to go after them. And you can understand.
There's a bomb threat in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Shocking
right now.
Today there was.
It was like the Arlington Cemetery, and the staffer there who got abused by Trump's incredibly disrespectful staff because Trump was looking to take some campaign photos with dead Americans because veterans are just props to him.
I have a whole beef with that.
She was unwilling to push charges though because didn't want to get freaking killed because the mob comes after her then, and it becomes who can even file a criminal complaint against Trump at this point without risking your life.
I wish somebody would.
Well, in that particular instance, I wish that the Arlington had just gone ahead and pressed charges on him anyway, regardless of whether she wanted to or not. His staff's conduct was criminal. Why didn't they just charge them? Why?
That
exactly.
leads into
Why does
the other big piece of this has been that Trump has successfully pre-built victimhood into his stance, that he has painted himself as the victim of the
There
system.
it is.
So anytime any criticism comes down, anyone tells him no, anyone says, hey, this is the rule everyone has to abide by, he says, oh, see, there it is. There it is.
Well,
the system's coming after me. The system's trying to
We're being
silence me.
persecuted. No.
and the coward hid behind the family.
Because no one is more persecuted than
he
a
held that
white
family
straight
in front
male
of him.
with $1 billion.
That's
That's
my
definitely
fault.
the biggest victim.
You know what, man? You're so much 100% right. They're still talking about the basket of deplorables. Like they're still talking about. They're still mad that they hold on tightly to their guns and their Bibles.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I forget the name of this book, but there's this book by someone who was either a pastor or just a reporter on Christian things, and he's just talking about how the idea that anybody says anything about a Christian white person, and that doesn't mean anything. That's just this group that if you belong to this group and you can say I'm this Christian white person, anything you say about them is persecution, and nobody wants to touch it. Like, what was it? I can't. Oh man, when I get the name of this book, I got to tell you guys. I'm gonna look it up in a minute. But the idea that the rural white American, the Christian rural white American, is always being persecuted. He's always being looked down upon, and Trump is the avatar for that. So, if you say, well, he speaks like an idiot, like a third grader, why would anybody follow this? Oh, well, you can't just dismiss a whole half of the country and call them stupid. There's something there. No, there isn't. There isn't. Either they dumb themselves down for that, right? Or they don't care, or there's enough of the dummies, the idiots, the uneducated, those who wouldn't pass an Army IQ test to make it in. There's enough of them there to make enough noise to make everyone else fall in line, like a brown shirt. When I forget, one of you was just saying, like, well, there's I don't remember, but I was thinking the same thing. Like, all there has to be is 10%. That's all you need. If you can find 10% of people
they're not
who are mad enough, racist enough, disgruntled enough, they can keep enough everybody else in line. They become the brown shirts. They're the ones who show
they're not
up.
The silent majority.
Right. They're the ones who show up at the voting place to intimidate. They're the ones who show up wherever the crowds are. They're the ones who stand back and stand by. If you have enough of those, just that 10% of those people, 5% of those people is all you need to make sure that all the rest of them stay in line. And then when we go back to what we were talking about before, when you have a country that's systemically primed and ready to find problems with the others, right? And we're not the only ones like that. It's not just happening here. It just so happens we found a puppet master or a dummy that was rich and charismatic enough somehow to actually use it and utilize it. But that's all you need is that 5% to keep everyone else in line. So, but the newscaster knows what's killing. What are you scared of? Anyway?
Well, they're scared of the same thing the rest are. They're scared of being just ousted for having the temerity to hold Trump to the same standard everybody else is, because they've seen everybody else who's tried that get just chewed up.
Yeah.
I was going to say that to dovetail off what you were saying there, that this phenomenon, this movement is not purely of Trump's making. This is something that's been created over decades of the far right's movement into these spaces to create these narrative things. He was just the first to truly utilize this as a political movement to truly capture that wind behind his sails, if you will. But this nasty, bigoted undercurrent has been there, fed by both legitimate and illegitimate gripes with the unfairness of the American system, and given face of the other, the person who's different, the person who doesn't look like you, the person who's a different color, different religion. It's tagged onto that yes, your life sucks, but it's not the policies of us, your elected official. It's these other people, these dangerous people. They're the ones that are causing your gas prices to be higher, or whatever the flavor of the day is. And
don't look at my plate of cookies.
Yep.
He's
Right.
one cookie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly it.
So, access, right? I believe also, I just thought about that, the reporters they need to have access to these crazies, because that somehow gives them whatever they need as a reporter. Saying I can have Jim Jordan on anytime, or being able to walk into this place and that place. We got to vote them out, because I think that even our reporters who are owned by this need for access would be changing. They would easily change, just as easily be more adept at being brave or saying the truth, if they knew that gave them access, as opposed to lying and subverting and double speaking is what gives them access, right? So I think the only way to really change that, because you can't change the money, only way to really change that is to make it so that we put people in office who hold that as a cudgel for access, who hold decency or bravery or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's a long-term goal, but yeah, we got to vote them out.
It's hard. It's a tall ask, especially because when you talk about some of the most toxic people you can imagine who are in office, they're in districts that run 70-30 their way.
Yeah.
And as we saw with Boebert in Colorado, if the district starts to change, they just move over to a different county. Boom, problem solved. They can be amongst the people. And it's hard to get that out. Plus, then, once they've been in for a while and they've made the kind of money that they can, move their own election around, they don't depend on the national organization for a lot of their funding. They're really free to be this toxic troll, even if GOP leadership isn't happy with something that they've done. That they don't really have the ability to push them out of their districts, not easily anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I have a feeling that even though that was the case even though that's been the case forever, it was somebody as demented as Trump who was actually able to use this. Because I think when people, even if they have, amazing egos and they want to be president, they want to be the senator, they want to be this and that, when you're hit with the gravitas of the big chair, there's certain things that you just won't, that as a human being and somebody who, I'm sure when you started, you thought you were doing the right thing, even if you're not a good one. Like, I'm sure that when they hit the big chair, there were certain things they realized I can't do. And this guy was the actual one, the only one that doesn't give a crap at all about, the only true, full, third grade big brother narcissist who would put a cat in a microwave. Like, and when he got there, he gave license to people who I don't think would even have run. Like, I don't think that Hawley would have run if Trump. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene would have thought she had a chance if Trump wasn't there. I don't think you'll always have a Ted Cruz, but Ted Cruz will always be snaky and play both sides and do whatever it takes to win. I don't think you have these extreme, just bat crap crazy maniacal people if he wasn't there, if they didn't see him and go, you know what?
It's like the giant red flag that's waving brought everyone, all the crazies in.
Yes.
Brought all the extremists in.
I'm going to take a quick second to hijack the platform here. We got this guy in chat who insists that X is the only platform that has no left censorship. I don't know where you get your facts, dude, but you are full of fucking shit. I've been managing this page for 8 years, and I can categorically fucking tell you, hands down, that I have been muted and had my content on Twitter as recently as today shut down because I criticized Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I can also tell you that half of our fucking Facebook posts get maybe 200 views, despite the fact that we have 34,000 people who like and follow the page, and plus I see all the likes. So any posts that have certain keywords in them don't get fucking shown to the vast majority of the people. That also goes for TikTok videos and YouTube videos. So bro, shut the fuck up because you don't know what the fuck you are talking about. You are fucking stupid. Fuck all the way off, Mr. I'm an independent. Ooh! You fucking clown.
Yeah. I didn't know we could curse. That opens it up for me.
It does. It opens it up.
It opens it up for me. I wasn't sure if we could curse.
On Tim's show? Of course you can.
So
who's seriously coming on here and be like, oh no, they said a curse word. Oh.
So here's the
thing. Must be new here.
Tim, is he just a troll? Did he want that? Was that what he was looking for?
Who the fuck knows? Matt, you can back me up on this because we have conversations about what kind of content we can and can't post. And so, for example, the post that had like 4.3 million views was like the sing-along post.
Yeah.
Whereas our actual debunking of this, that, and the other, it's like shadow ban. It's
anytime we post anything positive about Ukraine. There's an organization that I support called Tip of the Spear. They're over in Ukraine. They are veterans. They are making sure to. They are saving lives over there. They're going into.
They really are.
All kinds of places that are mined by the Russians. They're going into apartment buildings. They're going to schools, playgrounds, grocery stores, farmers' fields, finding explosives and getting rid of them. And they're training the Ukrainians how to do this. And it is absolutely fantastic work that is saving lives. Not all these guys come home. They have had serious injuries. It is a rough war zone over there. And we try to get them boosted and support. Every time we put out anything about them, it'll get like 60 views.
Right.
We know our reach is into the millions. And there is no way. It is every time. Every single time. It is something for Ukraine.
Wow.
Every single time it'll be a few likes, a few comments, and that's it. And nobody else sees
guys, go to Tip of the Spear on Facebook and follow and like and share their posts because they deserve it.
Maybe you can scroll it at the bottom of the screen, or just leave it there, pin it.
What's the?
Let me shoot you their URL. So
Thank you.
Let me respond also just for a quick second to that lovely commentator. I'm a commenter who says that X is the only place where the left is not censored.
No, he's saying it's the only place free of the left censorship. Fucking idiot.
Wait, so okay. So is he saying that it's the only place free from the censorship from the left?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying, but he doesn't understand that the only thing that we are pushing is being ethical and moral. I mean, these are not things we're censoring. We're just saying, how can you hate someone you don't know? How can you hate someone due to the color of their skin? How can you hate someone due to their nationality? That's all we're saying. We're not censoring you. We're just asking,
Let's break it down to something more of that person's grade level understanding. So, of course, you're not going to get left censoring on X because Elon's paid by Putin. They're paying them. Did you see that? Did you notice that? You're not going to get censored by the left because he's being paid by Putin. Should I repeat that? At
You just
what
said the
point?
quiet part out loud.
At what point were you thinking that Putin was going to be censoring from the left? You're being censored by Russian oligarchs. You're being censored by bots in buildings, chained to computers. That's what you're being censored by. No, you don't get a lot of censorship from the left on X, unfortunately, because you'd probably be more likely to be free if you were.
I will say that our pro-Trump, pro-Russian posts on our material the day after the DOJ busted that group just dropped.
Oh,
yeah. They've come back up to a degree now, but they dropped for like the 3 days after that. Like it's weird. There aren't any like pro-Trump posts on any of our comments or anything today. It's weird. Did something happen? Oh, they didn't get their paycheck. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, we were getting so many. I mean, we get a lot of authentic interaction, but a lot of the negative shit that we get, they're all these weird profiles that have like 10 and 12 followers, and half of them are like little gray circles. It's so obvious.
And the posts come in at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and they come in clusters, and they're all copy paste of the same thing.
Yeah,
you guys aren't even trying.
Laura, I
now,
don't
granted,
know.
I'm gonna leave those posts there. I'm gonna hide them so that they can't comment anymore, and it's still gonna reflect in the metrics. So when I look at the post and it says that we've got 300 comments, but I only see like 100 from actual people, I'm still like 300's 300.
Hey, so I don't know.
I don't care.
Right, but you're playing the game in the way that they laid the rules out. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify, I don't know if Tip of the Spear has a Facebook group. There's a different Tip of the Spear that is a group that's over there for combat. I don't want to mix the two up. The website pinned in the stream there, the landrineremoval.org, that is Tip of the Spear that is over there removing mines. They're the ones I've associated with, which I can't speak for the other guys. But I'm sure they're fine guys doing their own work too, but I don't want to get mixed up.
Thank you for pitching in with them. We really appreciate it. I hope you know that. How much we appreciate that.
We donated a lot of equipment to them.
That's amazing.
I will say this: since I've been messing with you guys, I've got a whole lot of Trump supporters in my comment sections, man.
Welcome to the party, bro.
That do happen.
I don't know why. I mean, we get them too. For the longest time, we were getting people in the Facebook comments, but also once I started uploading the original round of truck rants to TikTok and YouTube, every day it was like people weren't even watching the videos; they were just chiming in. They see a guy with a beard, or the patriotic swag, or the flag, or just the name Sons of Liberty, and they're like, "This is violent right MAGA content." I'm like, if you had watched the fucking video or read the post more than like a paragraph in, watch the video for like maybe 30 seconds, it would have become obvious for you. But you went ahead and fucking typed your little shit out.
Period.
And a lot of times people are like, my bad. And I'm like, all right, we're good. Some people double down. They're like, you're lying.
You still didn't watch
the fucking video. That's all I ask.
Or like, look at the memes we post. I mean, they come to argue that we're not us, that we don't know who we're about. All right,
on Facebook, like you could click the name and see like 50 posts, and it's fuck Trump this and fuck Trump that and fuck everything else. Oh my god.
Although to be fair, it's the Sons of Liberty, right? So they automatically think that you're on that, Confederate tip.
I get the confusion. Like I admit it, I did that shit deliberately when I set the whole operation up. I just wasn't expecting people to not figure it out after I point them in the right direction and be like, there's a whole pinned post at the top of the page, or go look at any of the video content for longer than, hi, my name's Admin Tim, blah, blah, blah. Just fucking 17 seconds in, motherfucking Trump. That doesn't make it clear to you?
They're right down in the comment section. Yeah, right on. Wait a minute.
I thought it was
Tell me your
genius.
TV show.
I thought it was genius. Admin Tim, I'm telling you, it was genius. I saw it, and for at least 3 weeks, it was showing up, and I'm like, I'm not looking at this bullshit. I already know what the hell this is.
I'm a subscriber. I say the same thing all the time. I was like, what did he post now?
But then, after a while, I was like, okay, well, it keeps on coming to my feed. Allow me to give it a chance so I can at least know that it's bullshit. And within the first 2 seconds, I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that.
Why am I driving myself?
One of my moderators kept posting your links to your videos in our chats, and we'd all go running over to look at it during the commercial breaks and go. And so when that was right about the same time that Bruce, noticed you too. So it's kind of.
I posted some of them.
Yeah, it was serendipitous.
I posted some of them to Will Wheaton runs a Discord that is very lefty and fun. I get a lot of great memes out of there. That's secret of my success. And I posted videos there. And the first couple, like I got some notes from their moderators, like, "What are you posting in here?" No, really, watch it. No, it's good. It's good.
No, it's great. I swear.
Because it's the thumbnail pic of Tim just knife handsing and giving that intense stare right at the camera, and they make some assumptions and they see the name.
Yeah, that 5-finger point, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've got those foam #1 fingers that you can get for sports games. I have one of those as a knife hand.
Nice.
Every time I do it on the camera, I'm like, I need to go get that thing and do it for the next video. But then I forget.
Get the finger, man.
That would be awesome.
See, now we're gonna expect it.
Yeah. I don't even know
What's
where I
the
got
story with the chopped up snake?
Oh, yes. So you guys don't know that Laura's from Canada.
The chopped up snake dates back to 1756, I think. It was a Benjamin Franklin political cartoon where he essentially was advising the independent individual colonies to basically unite together instead of being their own little pseudo nation or whatever. So that's where that comes from.
In the original illustration, each section of the snake has a different state's abbreviation on it because they were the original colonies.
I see.
Yeah.
So there were 13
find a snake an unusual choice
together.
They're stronger
A
together.
serpent is an unusual choice to represent the Union, though.
Yeah.
Well, it also goes into the
Gadsden flag join or die.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess
I'll look
serpent.
into that.
Yeah, it really is poignant right about now. Like, yeah.
Also, the chopped up flag isn't dangerous. The serpent is one body can hurt you. It's dangerous, and that's the thing is that together we pose a threat.
It was all about rebellion back then.
Okay, well,
and
my impression
would have take on the biggest army on Earth. You might need to be, form a team or something.
Yeah.
I thought you were making a play on "Don't tread on me," so instead of treading on them, you chop them up and eat them instead of dogs and puppies. People have pet. Hey, pet snakes.
The "Don't tread on me" flag does stem from that.
You're not going to tell me what to do.
Right, you're not the boss of me, Tim. Oh wait, yes.
I wish it was that funny. It's not. It's so much.
It's so much worse.
Let's see. What is this?
I'm saying hi to our favorite Raging Cajun. Hi, Amanda. Oh, my Cajun friends. They're the funniest.
I'm not looking at the YouTube, so shout out to any of the Team Sanity that's here.
I saw that they're in here. I saw them say it a couple of times. It was cute.
Nice.
What's going on?
I know you guys have a bunch of fans in here.
Awesome.
So
Hey, you guys making us look good. Thank you.
I don't.
Represent.
I've never watched a Bow of the Fifth Column video. I don't actually watch any other YouTube commentators, primarily because I don't have that kind of time, but also because I don't want to inadvertently do something that they do. So if I say something or do something that they do, say la vie. But as far as Bow of the Fifth Column, I was aware of some legal issues. I'm going to call it legal issues because I didn't read the entire case thing. I know that there was some hinky shit in the past, but as far as I know, he has paid his debt to society. So
yeah, he's solid, man.
If they let a convicted felon run for president, then I don't give a fuck if that guy has paid his debt to society. He didn't escape jail. He didn't get off scot-free. He did his time. He did a thing. It was bad. He went to prison. Now he is working to maybe not right some of the wrongs that he did, but he's definitely doing good things, or he was until he stepped back. So in my mind, I don't know I don't know the full details of the human trafficking thing. I think there was something about having them as hotel workers or something. So I don't know if it was that or if it was, sex crimes or whatever. And at this point, I'm not going to go look it up. I'm not going to go read because it doesn't impact me at all. So if the guy wants to, come back and address it, that's up to him. But to me, because I don't think there was anything that was sexual in nature about it, it was just worker related.
He's a part of a group. This is allegedly a part of a group that was being paid by people who were doing something else. Like he's that type of a worker. What would we call them? Militia, mercenary type of workers, where these people were security type workers, and he was working for somebody who was paying them, and these people were doing other bad things. That is the alleged thing. Here, allow me to help anybody out who may have a problem with watching them because they think that that's the case, which, like I said, is still alleged. If you've watched them and you've seen them for the past 5 years, there is nobody else on YouTube that does more for the community. Everybody, doesn't matter. Right, left, doesn't matter. Does more for to help people in need, people in disaster areas, his own areas, to help to change the minds. Like while I'm here taking a piss on Trump supporters, he'll talk to them and have actually changed their minds. He has emails and people who've changed their lives because of him. So whatever he did before, allow yourself to be okay with the fact that he's done much more for all of us than against, and let that be the way the measurement that you use.
I have a question. Is Bo the one that's in his shed all the time with the wood shelves behind him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Curious George hat.
You know what? Absolutely. He's done a lot of great things. And on top of that, he has a great voice for it, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He has that deep, automatically want to trust you.
Fuck. Steve Reed, what was the question that you asked? Did you ask this in Sons of Liberty or what? Let's wait to hear from him. Richard Ojeda. I remember that guy. I think he has a very severe haircut and was kind of very in your face.
Yeah, I love
him. What is he doing now?
He's got his own YouTube channel, and I'm not sure if he's on Twitch too or Facebook too. But yeah, he's live every evening.
He joined Midas Touch as well.
Oh, is he now a Midas member?
I believe that's part of the Midas network.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's great.
Yeah, I like him.
Bo probably was the only calm person during the last election. I believe that.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see him being that way.
The dude was calm no matter what.
I just hope that when this whole Trump experiment is finally washed away by the reins of history, that the legacy of it is a set of laws in this country for our politicians to make sure that no one can ever go this far off the fucking rails again. Because
There
this
need to be a lot of
absolute
things
shit show.
done. Yes.
Yeah, there
Some
definitely
amendments.
needs to be
I
guardrails.
I fear less the Trump may do some crazy shit on his way out here if things go the way we're hoping. Obviously, that he doesn't get back in. But
yeah, but what is
the
he
worry
do,
for me
though?
is who
He's
comes in next, who becomes that next
Mhm.
right wing populist who may not have the syphilis riddled dementia, chipmunk brain that Trump is saddled with. That fortunately keeps him, on a golf course or rage tweeting on a toilet most of the time, and not, enacting, concentration camps or whatever dumbass thing gets whispered in his ear by Stephen Miller.
Mm.
I just want
I'm
Trump to
tired of people defaming
one time
syphilis like that.
live. I want Trump one time to live up to the things that he says. Where he said last time, if he lost, you'd never hear from him again, and yet he continued running his fucking mouth. This time he's like, if I lose, I'm going to Venezuela. The same Venezuela that he just fucking criticized as being absolutely insane. Well, then
Go.
get the fuck out. Go. Bye, bitch. We don't want you. We don't need you.
Well, I think what's stopping him is a DOJ injunction on his passport because he's
Well, more than that, though, I'm going to tell you right now, I was raised by a malignant narcissist, and I'm here to tell you that narcissism has more of a hold on him than anything else.
Yeah.
Needs the attention, needs the adoration, need.
100%.
It has to all be about him all the time.
So the thing is, the Heritage Foundation is full of really, really, really smart, evil people. All right.
Mhm.
And what they've been trying to do forever was trying to convince not so smart religious people who had some self-interest and would be willing to do a little something for them. That's what they've been trying to do for 50 years. And they finally found the one person who's as evil, but completely monkey brain, like completely idiotic and just the dumbest thing you could, just an actual wet paper towel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they realized that, wait a minute, we can finally get this done. We can do this. We have somebody we can put in there and we can make this happen. Once he's gone, once he's gone, there's, like I said, there's the Jim Jordans and there's the Marjorie. They're the people who realize that, whoa, I can get everything I want and fool the people, right? It's going to be hard, but it's going to be hard for them to find that combination again, right? It's going to be hard for them to find that type of combination of an absolute narcissist who's also the dumbest person in every room. Like, room of first graders, he's the dumbest. The room of second grade, he's the dumbest. It doesn't matter, right? But thinks that he's the man. So, like, my son could manipulate him. That's a hard combination to get. But they do need to fix that. What we were exposed to on January 6th and every day since then, and every day since 2016, is we realized the extent of what regulations and guardrails we have and how far they go. Somebody's finally tested them, and they came up lacking. They came up lacking. We came up lucky. So, if anything good can come from this 8-year hellscape we've been living in, it is, we know that there's things to be fixed, and we got to at least come out of this with those legislations, amendments, whatever it takes to make sure that we don't have this kooky of an election season again and expect people to just concede anymore. Because that was one thing that every other country that I've ever been to is so jealous of America. Like, how is it that everybody just concedes? Like, it doesn't just happen like that. Like, there's rules in place to make sure things happen like that in most other countries. But the main thing was that just it's amazing that there's always a peaceful transfer of power. In Jamaica, they haven't seen a peaceful transfer of power
Right.
in 50 years. I heard that the last one was, but for the most part, all of my life growing up, JLP and PNP is the two parties where I think that every single 4 years there's blood in the streets. Every
Yeah.
single 4 years there's riots, there's an issue, and you can't talk about this person or that person, and everybody's always looking. And like I said, it's because once you take that toothpaste off, that cap off the toothpaste, you can't pull it back in.
Right.
And Trump took the cap off, and so we're always going to have this thing in the back of our minds. Well, is that election rigged? Was it rigged? What's going on? So we need, like, now, right now, yesterday, these new guardrails, no more expectation of peaceful transfers of power. We need regulated peaceful transfers of power. That's just what I believe.
And beyond that, to dovetail off that, the regulations of our political bodies to include the Supreme Court, to ping back to the whole Heritage
Absolutely.
Foundation, they've long since realized that they are that their strength comes from a shrinking electorate with less and less political power. So they're not going to be able to pass the kind of bills that they want. So the goalpost moved to the Supreme Court, because if they can't get a pass through legislation, because they know they'll never get through the Senate to say, ban this or that, or do these different, religious policies that they want, they could do it with a few quick cases to the Supreme Court, and they only have to control X number of justices to do that. It's a lot easier than trying to control the better part of 400 House members and 100 senators.
Yeah.
They would put someone like Judge Eileen Cannon on the Supreme Court.
yeah.
She's what, 30? She'd be there for life?
Exactly.
We need to very quickly find a way to have some impeachment or some rules.
They can impeach them.
Aren't just, I think, but the problem with it is the rules are made up by the judges to be followed by the judges.
Mm-hmm.
And Roberts won't enforce them. So it's
so come on, like there has to be a policing force body.
Unless I'm remembering
we have that, it just currently is like a 50-50 split. So
right, and you need a 2/3 majority in the Senate to convict to remove them. Like I have no doubt you could impeach Thomas for his corruption. Easily. It's so dug. It's like they're even trying. It's just that was the multi-million-dollar gift I got from this guy who had legislation that I ruled for.
Right. When the Supreme
what was the
Court
problem
became
there?
politicized, it became impossible to hold them accountable. So I'm definitely all for it, but if we don't vote blue down the ballot and get majorities in the House, the Senate, at the local levels, and take the White House.
Well, even the White House wouldn't even have a say in it if it's come down to impeachment and the Senate.
They'd have
the problem with the Senate is
executive order again.
You need those 2/3 to get the conviction in the Senate, and that's just a really tall ask. It's
here's the thing:
the Senate's going to be a tough reach this year. It just is, just the way the math works out.
That's true. Here's the thing: if I can give any elevation, any enlightenment, give somebody a smile, I want you to think about this fact. In Georgia, the only way that Kemp won was because he got rid of 1 million voters. Off the rolls, gone. Purged. After that, the only reason why he won again is because he was Secretary of State when he was running for governor, and he got rid of the rolls. And then his Secretary of State got rid of 1 million more. 1 million more. And in the last one, there was just straight up just all types of fraud, but you can't do anything about it. Do you realize that the reason why they're getting rid of all these things and trying to do as much fraud and purge the rolls is because the red states that you think are red are not red. They're not red.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, if everyone was allowed to vote, that map that we see where it's all bright red in the middle and blue on the sides is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
Well, a lot of that's
bullshit.
empty areas, like farmland and rural areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have the cow vote.
I guarantee you, if Texas, why, if you're so staunchly red and know it, why the hell every single day are you trying to find a new way to get rid of voters and you're still only winning by 5 or 6 points? The point is, I guarantee you, what was the number that you gave us? 150 million is expected to turn out for this vote.
Yeah,
Sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let me pull
that's
up
what the projection is.
that was the number I saw.
And if I might just hijack it for a second here,
Yeah.
everybody should check your voter registration
Immediately.
because it's not always announced when a state legislature, which are very, very red in most states, even in blue states, because of how gerrymandered the districts are, they can purge you off a voting roll. You may not hear about it in your local news. It may not even get reported just because it's just lost in the shuffle. And they have been doing this in swing states left and right. I've had to check my registration here in PA multiple times.
The number of people that I've heard have been purged here in Florida is astounding. And I belong to a bunch of, Roe v. Wade protest groups and all of that is absolutely astounding. And then on top of that, in Florida, if you don't request to do mail-in voting each and every time, they used to just let you ride, right? Until you said, no, I don't want that anymore. Not anymore. You have to request it with every single race, every time you vote, whether it be a primary or
Same here.
Whatever, you have to request it every time. People have to be aware of that. If your ID is expired or going to expire within a certain amount of time, you don't get to vote. Yeah. So you've got to check all those things. If you're within, I don't remember what the number was. I'm going to say maybe 6 months of, that's a good amount of time. 90 days of your ID expiring, 6 months of your ID expiring. We're all within that pretty much. I mean, half the year. So, you have to check all those things. It's so important.
I just can't imagine how it shouldn't have to be so stressful. And
listen to the Canadian over there. No, listen.
It's like, we have to
come over here and gloat about.
Tomorrow's the election. Where are we? Where do we go? We're on the corner to the leaf hall. Okay. Walk around the block. Check. Okay, go home again. We don't. All this stress.
So there's I think the statistic is there's been 185 million voters in the United States, and voter turnout projection is expected to be between 150 million to 165 million, that's a lot of people.
Crazy. Wow.
That's a lot of people that are finally of age to vote who are coming in to having witnessed the last 8 years of political silliness as they were kids, as they were growing up, and then they finally became old enough to vote. Now they're like, I don't want to deal with this.
Guys.
So they're voting.
Listen, for all of the political drain people out there in the comment section and everyone else, YouTube, there's no such thing as a swing state. It's not. I promise you. Everybody wants to send their kid to college. They can talk on Fox and at church about whatever they think they're talking about. I guarantee you, if we all voted, I see it. I'm gonna get on it. If we all voted, I guarantee you. Why is it that 70% of people want gun regulation? 70% of people want to work on. They wanted to keep this right or that right. These numbers that you keep hearing nationwide, these 70, 80%, that's all the states. There's people like there's states like Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi that are still, they can't wait to put a slave chain back on. But for the most part, if we can get every single person to vote and do the best we can with the knowledge we have of stopping all the foolishness and the purging, I guarantee you, there would not be a Republican Party left. Honestly. But which party created the KKK? Huh?
Let's say this straight up. Rap and Ron, I agree with you. Conservatives created the KKK, and conservative oligarchs, capitalists, owned slaves. So, yes, you're right. However, comma, all those fucking racists, which party do you think they're part of now, bitch?
Yeah, which party has all the people who are literal Nazis and hate people of color that are all sporting a certain candidate's sign on them? I can't remember which party was that again. Oh, right, they're all voting for Trump. It's weird.
Hold on.
Huh.
There's a picture of a flag. There's a picture of a flag. It's the Confederate flag. It's got Trump's face on it. Shut the fuck up! What are you talking about?
Show of hands, liberals. How many of you own a Confederate flag or fly a Confederate flag?
It's weird.
What's
weird?
What was that? Was that crickets?
It's definitely
I
crickets.
apologize for that
Let me use my
outburst.
good ear.
I apologize.
Yeah.
No, where's my
Fucking
Confederate
clown.
flag? I know I got one here somewhere. Where's my hood?
Where's
my
white
hood?
fish
Who
towel?
always
I
shows
had a
up with
white
this?
hood here somewhere.
Oh God.
In Atlanta, where the churches were being burned by the KKK. Who were they marching for? I wonder, you stupid fucking idiot. I
When they
wonder
show
at
up.
what point, who were they marching for? Do you know the name
Right.
of them? What's
Weird,
his name?
right?
Huh? Did you the point is you wanted to say something because it made you sound smart. But like most stupid people who don't know that they're too stupid to sound smart, you are you're a Dunning-Kruger effect specimen is the problem.
Yes.
Oh, you're too
Somebody
old to be
told
that
you-
fucking stupid. Get the fuck out of here.
Somebody told you, did you know that the Democrats were the party of the KKK? And instead of researching it and looking it up, you said, I'm smart now. That's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Because you have the intelligence of a third grader who refuses to read and skips classes, you think every time that you screw a damn screw into a piece of wood, you're a fucking carpenter. You're not. You're not. You're not smart enough to know the things that they told you. They did us a disservice by giving you that information. I cannot teach you algebra if you don't know 2 + 2. You are at 1 - 1. You're nothing in here. Okay, I apologize.
How? Imagine the audacity it takes to get on a show full of raging liberals, one of whom is black, and be like,
Maybe that's I apologize.
"Democrats to the party of the KKK." Arr! The fuck?
Hi guys.
Now they're just
Hey, Admin V.
saying we're
Welcome,
triggered.
Jane.
They got us. He
Admin
owned
V
us.
is
We
here.
were triggered.
I'm Dob. I know that I'm on a panel with people who are concerted and reserved, right?
I was listening in the car and y'all were talking about the snakes. I got my cat shirt on that says I'll tread wherever I want.
Aha!
Oh, I like
I was
it.
like, ha! Got a cat and it's snake in its mouth. So I was like,
Love it.
Mm.
so I just got back from the Charlotte Kamala rally. I've got my little Harris Waltz
Oh,
sticker on.
Woo! I am jealous.
Tell
Love
us.
to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah. So
Um,
anybody,
the,
I'm told that there might be questions for me.
There were a couple of questions for you over in the comment box. One of them was asking about something that happened in South Carolina. They were making fun of Kamala or something like that.
That happens all the time. Not a shock. I
I
haven't
think
seen
it
that
was-
one, but I'll look at it and I will get back to everybody about it on
I think they
Facebook.
were specifying the Gamecocks.
Oh, that's the Gamecocks are assholes anyway. There's the Clemson girlie.
True. I'm not going to argue that.
I live in Columbia, but I'm not a Gamecock fan. I graduated from Clemson. It's my alma mater. And I will say there are fair share of Clemson people who are assholes too. So,
Well, as we've discussed on the show tonight, you can't fix stupid, but you sure can sell it a red hat.
indeed. I will tell you a little bit about what went on at the rally. I got there about 10 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to make sure we got in. We stood in line, ironically, behind other people from South Carolina, because we figured Charlotte was about as close as she was going to get to us, because South Carolina is not a swing state or in play at all for the election, because I live in hell. Anyway, it was nice weather, lovely talk. They gave us chalk to write on the sidewalk, so I got some good pictures of that, which I will post in the Sons of Liberty group later tonight. We went in, the different candidates for the various and sundry state offices. Apparently, they're running a real dipshit for governor as the Republicans up there.
They
like,
are.
I am not.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, like he might be crazier than Trump.
Yeah.
He really may well
Nothing
be.
worse than a born again crazy.
Yeah.
He's fiercely anti-women. He's anti-LGBTQ. Like
He's
execute
the
them in the
current
street crazy
lieutenant
levels
governor.
of it.
Yeah, he's the current lieutenant governor, and apparently it was so bad that Roy Cooper refuses to leave the state because it would put him in charge while he was gone.
Oh, you mean the guy said it's time to start killing?
Yeah, that's the one.
What's his name?
I don't recall it. He was the one who said that. I'm gonna screw up the quote, but it was basically like that. That a woman needs a hand to the face now and then so that she knows her place. This man said that in a church.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he found? Didn't they find that he was buying porn? Like
he apparently before he was born again, he would show up to the same porno theater with a whole large pizza and go in and just go to town.
Yeah.
And he was enough regular that they recognized him.
Nothing wrong with that, but just don't come back again and make everybody else pay for your sin, you know?
He's a real piece of work from what I understand.
Yeah.
Well, what he's turning out to be so far in polling is a big drag down on their ticket in North Carolina, which is why they're saying North Carolina could well be in play, because you only need a few thousand votes either way, and all of a sudden that whole race changes.
Yeah, well, the big one is Charlotte Mecklenburg County, because that's where she was holding the rally. That's where I went. They have more people in that county registered as Democrats than in the next 53 counties combined. So I volunteered to do some virtual phone banking for them. Probably on Monday night, we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, I'll do a little more. Because I can't go up there and knock on doors and anything, because I live in South Carolina. I have a day job. I have a life I want to live, but I can take some time and do phone calls. I've done it before, and I'll probably do it again in the future.
That's awesome.
But we talked to a couple of my friend Sally, and I went because I didn't want to go alone. She didn't want to go alone. That's why I went. I'll take a day off from work. We'll make it happen. And we talked to some different voters, and a lot of them are saying it's going to be a hard fight, but they're pretty purple, and it's worth trying. Apparently, there's a lot of misinformation, and in the among black voters right now. That's what I was told by them, and that we really have to combat that as much as possible, and that comes with things like knocking on doors and making phone calls, you know.
Well, what about doing it like the Dudes for Harris and stuff like that, where you use your own personal network of friends to make a Zoom connection in your community to talk about stuff?
And there are a lot of people doing that as well.
Great.
I certainly have done it in my community. I work with admin Tim and stuff, but I also work in my own personal Facebook space and everything like that, and I post educational things. I get a little snarky sometimes. I'm gonna be honest, JD Vance brings out the worst in me personally. I do not like that man. I cannot express how much I do not like that man. As a childless cat lady and a woman who would like to continue to have rights, I do not like that man.
Right. What do you
yeah.
need with those? Come on.
Look, JD says
Yeah.
you're basically property at this point.
Oh,
Basically
yeah.
livestock. It's
A-
really been
As
his
a
doing.
as a single white woman, I would like to see my daddy try to own me at 46 years old.
Elon said
My
he wants
dad
to give me a
scares
kid.
Admin Tim, but he doesn't scare me. And
Gee.
Admin Tim and I went to high school together, Doug, and
Mhm.
my dad taught him math.
I
Oh.
see none of it stuck.
Nice.
So anyway,
Let me answer this guy's question real quick.
Okay,
The
sure, sorry.
DD-214, DD is the Department of Defense. The DD-214 is the form that you get your discharge paperwork that lists when you got out, when you enlisted, what your rank was, what awards you had, any deployments, things like that. That's what that is.
And I was going to say,
All right,
Pamela spoke at the end of the rally. She was a delight. I caught as much as I could of it on video, so I'm going to post some of those up in the Sons of Liberty group. We'll see what happens.
Group of Liberty.
Yeah, Group of Liberty, wherever I'm going to post them. I don't know. I was planning on talking to y'all about where you wanted me to post them after I got out.
Straight to the page.
Yeah. So, and we will see how it goes. But like she talked about how she wants a second debate. Apparently, Trump has refused because he doesn't like losing in public.
Didn't like it his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He declined. He was like,
yeah, and there was a lot of he has a concept of a plan, joking when it comes to the replacement of the Affordable Care Act. It was very, very good, and I enjoyed it. So there you go. That's Vicky's day. What I did.
Well, since they keep saying that
Admin V's day, rather. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I told y'all my name. I'm sorry.
the megas keep saying that no one's at the Harris rallies. There's no one going to the Harris rallies. We'd like to present video evidence. Not that evidence ever affects them, but
right.
We
You know it's all AI.
Face with it.
I told people today that I was being
All
AI.
Oh, Vicky's AI. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's so yeah,
I need to stop drinking.
there were empty seats in there, but there were probably, I would estimate, 8,000 to 9,000 people there. There were maybe 500 or 600 empty seats at the end when she was speaking. Early in the day, there were more empty seats, but as it got closer to her coming on, they filled up. Probably because not everybody wants to take a day off from work and they come after work.
Yeah, it is Thursday.
Yeah. So, but there were easily 1,000, 1,500 people on the floor in front of the stage, and most of the auditorium was full. So
awesome.
It was a place that says it holds 8,600 people. So with the floor crowd, I would say we were real close to that.
Awesome. Don't tell Trump his makeup is already running.
The two claps and a rick is a thing that I learned at a summer camp for boys in Brevard, North Carolina in the 80s and 90s. It was just a thing that we do, two claps. And then a rick is obviously Ric Flair, the professional wrestler. One of his catchphrases was "Woo!" So that's where that comes from.
I was so
motivational
gonna do it. Admin Tim, I was so gonna do it, and I'm like, no, I've had my loud quota for the day. I'm gonna let him do it.
Yeah. It's been two of us that have erupted in chat so far from the fucking the independent guy and the fucking MAGA troll fucking clown.
Yeah. Dealing with the Sons of Liberty has definitely brought some. I don't know if you guys are being watched on X by Russia, but I know I got bots all over this place now.
I get bot comments anytime I make a post on X, Twitter, Twixter, Twitter.
Every single one of them starts the same thing. I'm an independent.
Water.
Bless their heart. That's what you need to learn to say, Doug. Bless their hearts.
I started with that. I started calling them Hun and C.
That's Hun. Yeah, that's a good one too. I approve. I as I've said on the last one we did, I once tried to give up Bless Your Heart from for Lent. I lasted all 2 hours because once again,
not in South Carolina.
Yeah, I have to bless a lot of people's hearts. You're fucking stupid people where I live.
Same in Florida. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. The other thing I wanted to mention is somebody was asking about what we think about violence after the election and all of that. One,
oh yeah,
dear MAGA, we wish you would. I think it's adorable how y'all think that we are completely unarmed and none of us know what we're doing. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, I didn't mute for that. Sorry.
It's adorable.
So here's the thing.
Adorable. Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts. The thing is, if depending on where you live, I'm trying to make sure that people also have offline networks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's another option. Trump could win. Trump could win. If you are in fear of being rounded up in one of these stupid camps, or if you need to get to I think we need to have some offline connections, state to state and house to house, neighbor to neighbor, to be able to help people out and be ready for anything. I've started mine because for both scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
For both scenarios.
Same. Since 2017 or 18, I've always told people there's safe space up here.
Yep.
We're holding it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a little something like a what is the Underground Railroad to Laura's house. If you're
it's already they're already digging the tunnel, you know. I've got a lot of friends down there.
Most of it is done offline. So what the stuff that we're doing, if you guys really want to be a part of it, you email me, start with that, politicaldrain@gmail.com. And then after that, everything else we do is offline because people are watching. So I'm very serious about that. And like Admin Jen said, for the rest of y'all, we pack too, man. Come on.
Another thing too is for those
I'm
of
a
you
Canadian.
that
I have an arsenal, but I'm not going to disclose it. You know what's in it.
I'm a liberal. Same goes for us.
One of the things that came up with Trump's first term was being able to organize politically without using traditional social media, whatnot. Because there were subpoenas issued and people got arrested for planning events. They said it was terrorism. A lot of people had to face federal days in court. Most of them ended up with lighter sentences than the Trump administration would like because there wasn't a whole lot to stick on it. But if you look into the Tor browser, it will get you around a lot of the potential of you could run into if you've been into, like, say, a Facebook group and posted your intentions to go to a protest or something. Since the Trump administration said they will arrest people for that kind of thing, maybe you stay off Facebook with that. Maybe look at Tor using other tools that are in the same vein that allow you to get around that and not.
I would like everybody to know that Tor has been around a long time.
It
and I
has.
watched a lot of Doctor Who because of that.
There are other uses for it, apparently, allegedly, but mostly we're focused on the political uses for it. And that's what matters. Stay safe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and ban this fucking idiot too. Bye, bitch. Ain't got time for bitches.
Look, you can't fix stupid, but you can sell a pair of golden sneakers.
Well, I'm curious. What would we do? All right, well, forget it. No, I'll stop.
Yes, Mike, I also very much love Doctor Who and have for a number of years. And some of it's hard to get. And
It is. I agree. Or so I have heard.
Mhm.
Also depends on the VPN. Some of them are more cooperative with federal agencies than others. Just putting that out there.
Well, if that's the one you're recommending, that's the one I'm actually currently downloading. So
Yeah.
Tor is a very good tool.
I trust you.
Matt, do you actually play that piano in the background?
Yes. What else did they give me in this? A fireplace? God, I'm not
Ah,
super
yes,
for a
very nice fireplace in your background.
This is the
Need like a
standard
Billy Bass
background.
hanging up above the,
I
the
do.
fireplace.
I do.
Because it looks nothing like the pictures I've seen of Ram in the back.
Well, that's part of the reason. Is Ram is around here somewhere, and
I know. I was hoping I'd see him.
he may. Make
I
an
was trying to
appearance.
find my background that looks exactly like it, just so I could be like, look.
We live in the
There's
same house.
Yeah, exactly. We're all in the same house. We're all apparently in the same seat.
I'm sitting right next to Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just the standard background that we
I'm
haven't
in
been
the
able to
attic.
hear. I didn't have time to do anything fun and cool with it.
That's the attic, Laura? Did you?
It's a
Said
very
they're in the
spacious attic up there.
No, I was trying to make a joke.
I'm sorry. I was like, what's the attic? I'm sorry. All right, guys. I'm going to read something here. May I?
Please.
Do it.
This is
Wait,
for.
is it Penthouse Letters?
Oh,
No,
that kind of call.
I keep those just for myself. Thank you. But this is just for admin Tim, man. Here we go.
Ooh.
This is one of the bots you guys have been sending over to me, and as they always start, I'm an independent, and so I decided to finalize this guy or give him that. What is that? Was that final move? Finish him. Right?
Finish.
I said here, you're not an independent. You call yourself an independent because it makes you feel smart and special and superior. Trump also makes you feel special. So you ignore everything inside you that tells you he's a used car salesman and a golden shoe huckster. And you convince yourself otherwise because he makes you feel special, makes you feel important and seen. It's like he's speaking your language, the language of a third grader. But the truth is, my friend, you just bought the fake lottery ticket, and it's time for you to spot the scam. You have a script, whether you know it or not. It doesn't matter. But you all say the same things, and it always starts with, I'm an independent. If you're an independent, you wouldn't start with that like everyone else. Sorry. There it is. I
They
just
are
thought
easy
that
to spot, yeah.
I thought that maybe someone could use that when they're getting trolled by a so-called I'm an independent. I'm giving you free juice here, man. Free juice.
It's accurate. Very accurate.
We used to have some libertarians that followed the page, and then I kind of said some things that pissed a lot of them off, and I think they left. So
You said something that pissed people off.
Libertarian
Never.
Right.
Never.
No one misses them. No one misses them at all. Least of all me. What I like to say to them is, "Oh, I'd like to vote for your candidate. Then who is it?"
Oh,
Ah,
intelligent burns. I like that.
Hi, buddy.
It's like pick a lane.
Yes.
technically, I'm registered as an independent in South Carolina because it doesn't require you to register with a party.
Yes.
But I vote Democrat most of the time. So
No,
in
I like
South
that.
Carolina, there are a lot of people who are registered as independents who lean Republican. So whenever I personally hear somebody say they're an independent, I assume they're Republican. But
Because they usually are.
Well, anybody who starts with "I'm an independent"
Yeah.
is the thing, right? That's the thing. It's like here I'm giving you the fair warning that I'm not like the rest of them, right? I know that you just saw him talk about people eating dogs. I know that you've seen his flag, the Confederate flag with his face on it. I know that you see the guy riding down the street in a big truck, coal rolling people in electric cars, and the back of his truck has a Trump flag and a Confederate flag and an American flag hanging out of it. But I'm an independent. That's why they say that up front. That's why they say it first.
It's true.
No, it's absolutely true, Doug.
And they've done their own research.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I do my research. I'm independent. Yeah.
You gotta love that.
I'm just asking.
I Googled for a video that would tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, and I found it. It was weird. That must mean I'm right. I'm smarter than everyone.
Shocking.
See, that's another thing in Canada. I don't remember ever having to register as what party I affiliate myself with or think I might vote for next time. We don't do that.
What we do here in South Carolina is you're not required to register with a party, but if you vote in the Democratic primary, you can't vote in the Republican primary, and vice versa, because they do keep track of it.
Okay, we don't have that system here, so. Yeah.
In theory, you can only vote once in a primary, and you have to pick which one you do. I have a lot of friends who are Democrats who will vote in the Republican primary to try to get the least crazy Republican.
Yeah, like the Haley voters.
Yeah, and it works in cases like I will say we primaried somebody from the left, which doesn't usually happen, and got rid of a real crazy guy out of Spartanburg by doing that.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
We don't need crazy anywhere in government.
Yeah, this guy was so racist, so fucking racist. And it was right after we were getting the flag taken down, which from the front of our state house. I was told it was the back of the state house, and then I went to moved to Columbia, and I was like, it's right in front of Main Street. It might be the back of the state house, but
right,
really the back
it's
of the state house
for sure.
It's meant to make sure that every black person saw it as soon as they rode up to it. That was the point of it. That flag wasn't even that popular in the Civil War.
You're right.
When they put that flag up on all these southern places was simply for the purpose of making sure that the darkies stayed in their place. I can say that. I know you guys can't, but I'm just saying.
I would
I would not say that.
Everybody's getting scared. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Canceled.
when we were pursuing getting it down, that was a lot of the arguments that got made, is that this was not put up to commemorate the Civil War. It was put up during the Civil Rights Movement, make sure people knew where they stood.
Same with a lot of those statues down there too.
Yep, and I did something with an organization I was with for a few years that was called the Legacy of the Confederacy Tour. We have an act called the Heritage Act, which means it's really difficult to get like statues taken down and things renamed and stuff like that, and buildings renamed. But like one of the things you can do is use the statues as a tool to teach history and real history that we don't get taught in schools. And we did something called the Legacy of the Confederacy Tour, where we went through and we started at the African American History Monument on the State House. And we talked about what that meant. And then we went to several different monuments and ended at the Confederate Soldier Monument. And we talked about the real fucking racist history of South Carolina, how they rewrote a constitution in 1894-5 and fuck Ben Tillman. Just so y'all know. Fuck Ben Tillman with a rusty spoon. I do not like that man. I hate that man. I will continue to not like that man. Excuse my language. I hope y'all don't mind my
I end
swearing.
up doing a video on this.
No one here.
Well, I think the question is it Tillman or Vance? Which?
Tillman, absolutely Tillman.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really awful, and I have proposed that Admin Tim and I and a few others maybe do a podcast episode type thing on it. I've written a script several years ago about Tillman. He's one of the reasons that Tillman is an interesting thing, but we'll do a podcast on it or something. But we ended at the Confederate Monument, and we talked about what happened after the Confederacy went down. We created a moving monument to victims of lynching, where we talked a lot about that, and that's how we ended it. To talk about the racial history of South Carolina and how it impacts us in 2024, and not just.
I like that, taking the power away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the idea. If we can't take them down, we might as well use them for good.
Right.
Are you touching
I
that, Tim?
I want to address this Trump shooter thing
Yeah.
real quick.
Yep.
I'm not going to say too much about it. Obviously, 2 people died. There are conspiracy theories and there are not conspiracy theories. All I'm going to say is that dude's ear healed very mysteriously quickly, and I'm also only going to say that you notice how a guy who complains about every fucking grievance that he has ever had with anybody since time immemorial and will always bring that shit up every fucking chance he gets, endured a assassination attempt, but we don't hear shit about it except when it suits him, which is hardly ever. That's all I'm going to say about it. Case closed. Obviously something happened, you draw your own conclusions.
It was suicide by cop, but that's just me.
I think usually when it comes to stuff like this, so I things that are fantastical take fantastic evidence to make me say, okay, that's the deal. Mm-hmm. So I even in this, I'll have to say 2 people died. 1 guy saw with the gun, and they shot that way. It may have been an attempt. I believe it has to, most likely it was. And in order to prove that it wasn't, you have to bring, for such a fantastic conspiracy, you have to have fantastic evidence to make me, it wouldn't be, well, his ear is this, or I didn't see that, or look at the mirror. Like it needs to be as fantastic of evidence. So yeah, I'll say that it was an attempt.
I think it was what it was. You're almost right. He was looking at any event to go to. He happened to be close to this one. Wait, but he wasn't aiming at Trump. He was just hoping to cause the chaos, cause the damage that he wanted, and then he probably knew he was going to get killed, but he was hoping the explosives would go off and cause chaos, and it would be blamed on someone for trying to assassinate Trump, whereas it wasn't really trying to assassinate Trump, if you get me, so that he would come out on top.
So that make even sense? Then, so yeah. So even then, maybe I'm good enough to say. I'm open enough to say I have no idea. I know that
none of us know.
Yeah, but I do know what bullet rounds do. to skin
Yeah.
and flesh. I do know that. The likelihood. So all I'm saying is, if a piece of glass hits you, it's okay, bro.
You can just say that.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You can just say that. You can just say that.
It definitely wasn't a 2-2-3 round. Let's be honest.
That's all I'm saying is, do you know what that round looks like in the air?
There's no way.
So come on, it's okay. And the minute that he said, "I was shot with a bullet," I knew that he wasn't shot with a bullet, because nobody says that when they get shot. They go, "I was shot," but he said with a bullet because he knew it was hit with a piece of glass or the prompter or whatever it was that nipped his ear. So we can put that to rest, because look at his ear, and anybody who's ever seen what bullets do, it don't leave. It doesn't scrape you like
it
a
wasn't
paper
enough
cut
for
and
him to
heals
say,
the next
"Oh,
day.
thank God,
Yeah.
it wasn't a bullet."
Something
Well, my
would be
favorite
removed.
comparison is the
Thank
Evander
God it was
Holyfield.
only a piece of glass.
The photo of the Evander Holyfield ear.
Yeah, the Holyfield ear.
It's like, are you kidding me? Oh wait, so teeth are going to do more damage
I mean,
than
even
an AR
if
round? I don't think so.
even if by the grace of God and Jehovah himself, it just touched the very little hair on the side of his ear, it's hot metal.
Right.
Yeah.
More skin would be gone. Period.
There would at least be a scab. Just saying.
I will say I do agree with Laura's theory of suicide by cop, especially
And misdirection.
I mean, he clearly would have gone to, if he lived an hour closer to the speech Biden gave out there, he was going to go there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was gonna
he
go
didn't care
anywhere.
which one it was. And looking at the gear he was using for it, the 150, it was like 148, 150 yards, something like that. The red dot he was using would have been bigger than Trump's head. There was just no way to, with the gear he had, to accurately.
Yeah, that's my
name
as well.
I don't know if that's a bullet or a piece of glass that nicks him, but
I just don't think he was aiming at Trump. I don't think he intended to hit Trump. I don't think that was the point. Just wanted to look that way.
Could have. Honestly, I don't think he could have with what he had with the frankly the garbage gear he was using. Just not feasible to make a good shot.
Damn, go for it.
Tim's thinking about it though.
No.
Tim's thinking about it.
I'm gonna.
I need
gonna have a
fantastic
Tenacious D
evidence.
moment here.
Tim doesn't want to get us all canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing is, I just need fantastical evidence. If somebody says, I was abducted by aliens, and I get this.
You need to see the anal probe, right? Of course. I mean, that is just clear ABC facts right there.
You remember how Donald Trump was like, "Show me your birth certificate to prove you were born in the United States with the birtherism thing. Show me the fucking medical record, clown."
Yeah. Show me the medical record.
Show me your anal probe. Wait, no.
Wait.
Oh, maybe we can make that a t-shirt.
Sorry, I took it too far. I'm sorry.
He gave it to Stormy as a
I
present.
don't love it.
He'll do it too, folks. He'll do it.
I will. Right on live stream, it'll be like,
Absolutely will. And that is how we get our show canceled.
I would pay in addition to that. I don't
All
even have to be on the panel. I'll just send you money.
All right, let's move on from this topic. What else we got? Anything else?
We haven't talked about the debate proper itself. We kind of danced around it and basically said, he got his ass kicked and moved on to other things.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot more to say about it,
I don't like rubbernecking at train wrecks and car accidents. It's like a
well, I would like to talk about the
traffic always slows
transgender
down.
illegal aliens who are getting surgeries in prison.
I know it's such an important issue right now.
Such an important topic.
It was all the things, like every time you could see that the gears were stuck in his head and he was just mad-libbing. whatever
It
keywords
was
he could do.
absolutely a Mad Lib. That has to be what they did before the debate.
Can I give you the history, the background on that?
You know, the Harris prep team plan was get under his skin. The Trump plan was don't let them get under your skin. What happened? She said crowd size, and he instantly went.
She walked him like the family dog. That's what happened.
Executing
babies. Put a leash
World
on him, and
he went right off.
Was coming
come
out
on,
of
Pongo,
this
shit for daddy.
All right, hold on. I'm going to maybe reduce a little bit of the happiness here. Here's the history behind the trans surgery for prisoners, right? As a DA, she was fighting, not as DA, as the I can't even say it now. The Attorney General, in California. The idea was to offer rights to people who were transgender and also other things that they can have full medical rights as transgenders in the prison. Exactly. And one of those things was also being able to get the surgeries. Maybe some of them were also illegal. You could say that. You can't say for sure that they all weren't. Sure. But how far you have to reach to find that, to say that, of course, is what we're laughing at. But if you're just wondering, like, how the hell did that come in his head? He obviously, the researchers or his prep team obviously told him, like, listen, if an atomic bomb drops, what you're going to do, here's the last ditch effort thing to say. Talk about this.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think it's that. I think it's that someone at some point said to him in passing, in joking, that this, that, or the other. And the next thing you know, it's stuck in there, right?
Same thing with the immigrants eating animals.
And he's going to say, well, I heard it. Well, I saw it. Well, I heard it. Well, I saw it. Bro, what
I think his team legitimately has as much trouble figuring out how to get him on message as all the rest of us do figuring out how he's off message all the damn time. They've got to be backstage pulling their hair out going, oh my God, why was that the one thing that stuck in his head?
The last voice
what was it? Hannibal Lecter that time? Windmill?
His good friend. His good friend, Hannibal Lecter.
The last voice in his ear was Laura Loomer, lunatic. So, there you go.
Or illegal aliens that are in prison.
Muddy, right there.
Transgender illegal aliens.
Right now, somewhere, some right-wing moron is using that as proof.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I found it. They admitted it.
I about died when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, we got to use that.
Right now, JD Vance is secretly jacking off to that in his closet.
In his couch.
Definitely the couch.
I'm sorry, was that too far?
No, absolutely
too accurate?
not.
What you're looking for was accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's never really too far on the Admin Tim show.
It's never too far on the Admin Tim show. I like it here.
Oh, shit. That's another good t-shirt.
Liberty show.
The Sons of Liberty. So this is the Sons of Liberty show, not the Admin Tim show. That's what Admin Tim saying. He's like, this is just way too much on me now. I'm not in charge of this.
Yeah, I understand that energy, not wanting to be responsible for this whole.
He's like, I'm not responsible.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
For me, I can assure you of that.
I love it.
I mean, if it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails. It's just...
Officer, I have no idea what these people were talking about.
I've already sworn several times on this podcast, this little video, and I was only on for the last half an hour.
Oh, you missed when Fuckface McGee ran his fucking mouth at us.
It's true.
Two of them, actually.
Oh, lovely.
What do you say?
Liberty and Woo. There's another good one.
What's that?
Oh, someone in the chat. Give me liberty and woo. Another good
Give me
idea.
liberty and woo. Let me highlight that.
I like that. I like
Where's
it.
your best nature boy scream?
T-shirt.
Sandra, I love Die Mad About It. That is such a good one too.
Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second.
Please don't be an anal probe. Please don't be an anal probe. Please don't be an
Is this going to be an anal probe? I am looking forward to an anal probe shot. At any given moment.
That's
I
what the
will-
Sons of Liberty podcast gets known for. That is the anal probes. Oh, I
All right, we've been at
So
this
what-
for almost 2 hours, so we're gonna wrap it up here probably in about 5 minutes or
Fair
so.
enough.
When Doug,
Get
I
this
don't want to like
through.
end it when Doug's AFK and then he comes back and he's the only one on the stream.
He's
So
the only one here.
we'll wait for him to
Everybody
come back.
laughs.
Shannon Sharp. I
Everybody-
don't know if
everybody-
y'all know
everybody.
that. Shannon Sharp, who is a football tight end with a podcast,
Former football tight end.
former football tight end with a podcast. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. I assumed his age would let people know that. But like he left his live going, and apparently Mr. Sharp was performing an activity during the live. So I'm hoping we all remember
I've done that.
not to stay
I've
live.
done
It was
that
a wild
notoriously.
D&D session.
Yeah.
No. So
Tell me
Matt
more.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
play with an online group of gamers that's been in existence for about 22 years at this point, that I founded, called Black Widow Company, and it is now standard that we use Discord for communication or TeamSpeak, depending on what game it is. Everybody is push to talk because of an incident that happened
It's the
with
Tim
me
rule.
twice. It's called the Firefly rule because that's my nickname. Where, unbeknownst to me, I was signed in on TeamSpeak or whatever. This was like 2006, 2007, and I got a little amorous, and it got broadcasts for like an hour because I was the super admin, so they couldn't boot me.
Still the highest rated broadcast of any year.
So now, like 17 years later or whatever, they're like, to this day, when new people come in, they're like, and due to events that happened a long time ago with somebody that we're not going to name, all of our comms are pushed to talk.
Oh,
And then like 8 people attack him in the comments.
Yeah.
You
So-
idiots have to remember, I've been on this thing a long time and I have to pee really bad, so please stop making me laugh.
You know, you just like stop your camera and
I know, but I'm trying to be
having too
polite
much
and
fun.
hang
Guys,
out.
professional here.
I got up and left for
I'm
like
a
5 minutes to
professional,
go
man.
make drinks early.
She
So-
thought you were coming back with an anal probe. Didn't want to miss that. Really stay for the finale.
come on, Doug, show us your anal probe so we can get
I
out
know,
of
I'm so
here.
ready. Hold on.
So
Yeah.
patches to the store. So we did patches like fucking 2018 or something, and they don't have integration with the web store, so we'll probably never do patches again
I
unless
think
I
we
have
need to
like a
switch to
demand.
Shopify.
What's that?
I think we need to switch to Shopify.
So the patches that we make, I don't want just generic patches. These were
Right.
like high quality PVC 3D like rubber patches. They're really fancy with and without Velcro. I call them the yes Velcro and no Velcro. And they were, they're generic tactical patches. We had them in subdued, and then we had red and white color. So we could do them. I just need to know that there's going to be like 50 people that want them, and you pay up front because I can't float of like a $500 is what it costs for a minimum order. So that's not funds that I can eat right now because YouTube is like, you can't monetize your channel. That it's too offensive and controversial.
Really?
Yeah, I tried. I was like, 40,000 subscribers in a week? Fuck yeah. Let me get $1.50 off of fucking YouTube. And they're like,
Wow.
you can delete all your videos and then try again. And I'm like,
Yeah, well, I'm not
That's not
saying
going to happen.
I'm not saying
That's
anything.
crazy.
I think YouTube is awesome. I have no idea what you're talking about. This beats me.
yeah. That's patches.
All right, people are saying they have to go, so I think we should conclude.
Oh yeah. Because we've been at it for like 2 hours now. So
Some of us
Oh
want to
wow,
eat.
Oh my God, we have.
that was fun,
It's a
man.
good show.
A delightful 2 hours indeed.
We
Indeed.
love hanging out with you, Doug and Laura.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you so
so-
much for having
It's
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Feeling
everybody
mutual.
watching
It was
that's
awesome.
talking about patches, if you want to pre-order, I don't know, give me like a couple of days to figure some shit out, and maybe I'll do it again. So
We also have some new T-shirt ideas, so we'll go over that.
We do.
yeah, if you look on Threads, it's like the only Threads post that I've ever made. There's a picture of Mrs. Admin Tim holding her paramedic backpack where she's got a Sons of Liberty patch. So if you want to see what they look like,
Nice.
and on Facebook there's a thread for people posting their swag, and there's like some guy bought like fucking 1 billion patches or whatever and put like one of each on stuff so that you can see what this subdued looks like. But anyway, yeah.
Buy the merch, people.
Yeah, buy the merch.
Or don't. I don't.
Channel.
You know.
Hit the like, hit the sub.
Yeah,
Right.
we're
Convince YouTube they're wrong.
this is ridiculous, man.
Tim, I think you need to lead us out of here with 2 claps.
I don't
Let's
have to
do it.
clap.
I'm not your monkey, man.
What? Oh, right. All right. For Sons of Liberty, 2 claps and a Rick. Woo! It's a whole
Thanks,
lot of
guys.
wooing
That
all
was
over the
awesome.
place.
All right, bye guys.
Go ahead
This has
and
been
end
delightful.
Thank you.
Y'all be safe. Heads on a swivel. Stay frosty.
Frosties.